Alright, so this is the Nissan Xterra, but this technique will be useful on any type of vehicle. So here's the thing, this is what my wife drives to work every day and uses. I did a video a while back about cleaning this up because there was a bunch of battery acid on top, and what I think what happened is that it gets hot underneath the hood and it kind of cooked the acid out. And I didn't take these covers off and look, but I'm assuming it's low. Well, anyway, long story short here, pretty sure this battery is bad. It could be a possible alternator, maybe not charging, and that's why it's kind of turning over slow. But there's a couple reasons why I think that's not it. One is when I took the thing out after I got it running and shut it off, after I started it up just like it did the first time, pretty decent. But without being able to verify that with any type of multimeter, it's kind of difficult to guess. So what I kind of did here was a homemade load test on here just to kind of show you what I got going on. So one other thing to note is over the past couple weeks here, every time I've gotten in and started this vehicle, I've said to my wife, or when I've driven it, like, this thing seems to be turning over slow. She said, no, I don't think so. And that happens when you drive a vehicle every day. You don't notice that over time it starts to turn over slower and slower. But I just got done washing it. When I went to start it, I was like, holy man, this thing is not going to start tomorrow after work. So I'm going to start it up for you here, and I'll show you how I do my load test. All right, radio's off, so here we go. I'm going to start it up. Now, just to me, that seems like it kind of turns over slow, and I guess, yeah, I work with vehicles every day and that type of thing. Maybe that's part of it too, but like I said, I'm thinking, oh man, if I was at work, I could be using my multimeter for all of this and all that type of thing. So what I'm gonna do is, for my load test, I'm gonna turn that up a little bit, and we're gonna turn on the headlights and fog lights. So normally, if your battery wasn't dead or could handle this type of load, you should be able to leave this on for a little bit, and you really shouldn't notice any type of difference when you go to start the vehicle. But I noticed when I did this before, I mean, I could hear the fan start to slow down on the heating and cooling here, so I knew something's going on. So I would just let it go for a little bit. Even if we look at our voltage gauge, which is down on the bottom here, you can see that does not look good already. So let's turn off the headlights, let's turn off the fan. Now let's give it a go and see what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm gonna call that a battery. Definitely gonna call that a battery. And now you're gonna have all sorts of crazy stuff start to happen because you're under probably your minimum voltage. I'm guessing we're under 12. Usually you should be about 13.8. I think on some of our trucks at work we got as high as like 14.3 or 14.4. You don't want it to overcharge, because then you'll end up with issues usually with components not working correctly, because the ECM, TCM body controllers, they don't like voltage beyond whatever their parameters are set for. So, but once it gets below a certain range, you definitely have issues. So, long story short here, we're gonna get a battery. I wish I would have bought batteries when they were on sale a week ago, but I was like, no, maybe it's me. But I asked her a couple times, like, I feel like it's slowing when it starts, and she said, no, I didn't notice anything. So it might start after work, but I'm not even gonna chance it. It's time for a different battery. So this battery would be, it's a 2015. So what is that, 3 years? Not much. It would have been 4 years, I think, in March. So February or March, somewhere in there. So yeah, that's not a real good life for a battery. But like I said, you can even see now it looks like there's some wetness from where there was acid. Anytime you see that, even at work, when we have batteries that do that, it's usually time to change them. If the top of the battery looks like crap, change it out, because it won't be long. You're gonna have that driver coming back saying, hey, my truck either doesn't start or has been turning over slow. Alright, so here is the new battery. I went with the cheapest battery I could get from O'Reilly's, because that was the closest place that was open on a Sunday night. And it is 550 cold cranking amps, and that's what the original battery was. They did have the next size up, which was like a 650. that would fit as well, but that one I think was like 159. This one was about 129, and then there's like a $10 core for the old battery. So this sticker, I'm not sure if they put this on, if that's on there for the battery being like this is the month, if they switch these out every month, oops, or if that's like when the battery came in, if they just had it. I can tell you this, when I got to the store, I was the third person to buy a battery. Like the guy before me in the store had a battery on the counter ready, there was another guy, and when I was leaving there was a guy coming in to get his car battery tested with their load tester. So I did have them load test the battery, and yeah, it was bad. It didn't even, it was on the load tester for about 3 seconds. So, alright, I'm gonna throw this in and we'll go from there. Okay, so here it is. If you are doing a Nissan Xterra that is, these are all 10 millimeters, so both your hold downs and then also both of your posts here, both of those are going to be 10 millimeter. I don't know, I didn't size up the battery, the guy just went and grabbed it for me, but just looking at it, it kind of looks like it's a little narrower than the one that I had, but you know, whatever, it's in there. So what I'm probably going to do is throw on the little 1.5 trickle charge on it just overnight. I think you're supposed to charge a new battery first or whatever, but we are going to start it up just to make sure it starts, and then I'll throw the trickle charge on. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we'll do a before and after. So this next is going to be the before, and then it'll be after. I would say that starts a little bit quicker, and it's been like that for, I'd say, a good month starting slow, so that is a huge difference. So, alright, so here we go. We got the 1.5 amp charge going here, trickle charge. Got it in. I actually just took it down the road and brought it back, turned it around. That's why everything's popping and clicking here, cooling off. So there you go. If you're questioning whether or not your battery needs a load test or if it's still good, throw on the headlights and put on some accessories. That'll give you a pretty good idea of whether or not the battery's working. You could have always take it out and run it to one of those auto play stores too. They can do a load test usually for free, but it's quick and easy if you don't have the tools or if you don't have anything at home that you can try it with. Throw on the headlights, try to find something that's a high amperage draw, and then try starting the car afterwards, and that'll give you a pretty good idea of how well that recycles. At work we got like a carbon pile battery load tester, and I can tell you the amount of load you put on that thing, that the clamps that you put on get hot, they start to smoke. There's so much amperage that we pull on the battery. So yeah, your battery should be able to take a pretty good load test and still start, and if it doesn't, replace the battery. Alright, so that's going to be your poor man's battery load test.